Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. In this video we will make a basic calculator app just like this which perform basic operations. We can also remove items one by one, perform multiply. By pressing this, our result become the first value, then we can perform further operations. So we will create this kind of basic calculator app, and this would be an good approach to understand that if you are a beginner in Android app development or with Jetpack Compose, then this video will be helpful to understand that how to visualize or visualize those components and make them step by step, and then making them reusable to increase the efficiency. So in this video we will make the first step, and which is our home screen of the calculator app, and we will create the UI of this screen. So for that, first we will go to our main source set, and in here create a package named as home, and in here we will create a new file named as HomeScreen, which will be a composable function screen, a composable screen. So home screen, and to preview this, home screen preview, app theme, surface color white, and home screen here. So this is it for initial setup of the screen. So now we will understand that what components we have in our screen. So we will see it from a broader perspective, that we have two segments here. The first segment contains text values which represent value, operations, and their result, and the second segment is where we have all our buttons from 0 to 9, or from our arithmetic operation clear, and all these buttons. So we will understand that we have two segments in our screen. So now we will pick one segment to start making that segment. So we will pick this second segment, which contains our buttons, and in this segment we can see that most of our buttons contains text, and there are some color variation in it. So if we focus on this segment, so this is a row which contains 4 buttons, and this whole segment contains different rows. So means each row contains 4 buttons, and each row is one by one is added in here. So this will be wrapped in a column. So first of all we will start with this row. So here we will create a row, modifier, width fill max, and in here we have first text, which is C, capital C, and second text is after that we have 3 texts. So we will select this section and press Ctrl D 3 times, press Alt Enter to reformat this, and the second is percentage sign, and third is back space button, and the last one is divide. Now we need to make all of these buttons take the equal space. So for that we will use modifier with 1F, and also use 1F for the remaining one. And now let's see the preview here. So go to split view section and build and refresh. Okay, so we are getting some error from this particular dependency that which requires 30 API level 35. So for that we will go to our app level Gradle file and upgrade the compile SDK to 35 and target SDK to 35. Sync the project. I'm not able to see the sync here, so I need to go to our file, sync project with Gradle file. Okay, and now come back to our home screen and tap on this build and refresh again. And our text row have been showed up with the text button. So here our each text is taking equal space, but our text is not horizontally centered. So for that, here we will assign the property text align center, paste it and use for the remaining buttons. Okay, so our text have been centered. So now as we first focus on this button and make it as our expected UI. So for that we need to increase the vertical spacing and also to change the color. So here we will do the padding vertically should be, let's say, 20 dp. Press Alt Enter and import this. So we have our button here. So let's see it in the interactive mode. And next is what thing I'm missing here. Okay, so we're just focusing on this C only, C button only. So now we need to change the background color. So we will use a background before this padding, and the color which we are using, you can find that color from the video description below. These are the two colors which we need to paste it in here. And this light blue one is the background color for the button. So light blue one background color. Now we also make it clickable. So we use clickable here. Make sure that this clickable and background should be before this padding method call, because if we call this method before this one, so this padding will be considered as margin for this background or clickable. So now our button is clickable. Make sure and as we are in interactive mode, so now we can able to see the effect of the click. So we have this component here, text button, which is as per our requirement. So we will copy this section and paste it 3 times to use this for other buttons. So first of all we will remove this code, select this section, press Ctrl D 3 times, and the second button is %sign, third is backspace button, and the last is divide button. Okay, so I need to build and refresh it again. Sometimes it won't work and we need to manually tell that we need to refresh our preview. Okay, so all of our buttons have been as expected. Just need to do some tweak with the font size and the color of this one. So here we will change the font size. Let's use 26 SP. Alt enter to import this and copy this one and use it for others. Okay, and I think this text is too large. Let's use 20. Let's use 20 for the first one, and then we will reflect this for others. And we have used 20 here, and all of our remaining things have been. And next is this color. So let's reflect this font size for others and use the color specific light blue color for this divide button. So color would be light blue too. Okay, so now things have been as per our requirement. So we will copy this row and use it for all of the remaining buttons. So before that, if we understand here that if we need to change any font size, then we manually going to each button one by one to change the font size or set the color if we want to. So it's a very repetitive thing that our component is not very reusable, and we are manually going to do. If we want to sync one change to all of the buttons, then we need to manually go to each button one by one to reflect that change. It's not a very efficient approach. So to avoid that thing, we need to make our component reusable. So for that, we will select this component, press Ctrl Alt M. Here we will get some warning due to this weight property, but we will handle it later. So let's refactor it anyway and name it as text button. Now in here, as this weight is not available in here, it's only available within some specific composed components. So we will, to reflect that in here, we will pass the modifier here and use .then and pass this modifier. And when we are using these components, we will pass the modifier here. Weight 1F and so a modifier have been passed. Now we will pass the other parameters to this component to make it truly reusable. So for that, we need a few things like text color, background text color, fonts, and actually text and color and the text color. So first one would be text, because we are only modifying this to providing only two things which we required, the text and the needed color. String and text color would be, by default it would be unspecified, because if it's unspecified, then it will pick the default color from the theme. So in case of light mode, it's picking up the black color for this text. So here, pass the text here and color for this text. Now in here, we will pass the text, which is C, and the color. Actually, we won't need color, and we also need to pass the on click event back for at this position. So we will create a lambda function here, and in here on click. So yeah, that's it to make our component reusable. Now we use this component for the other buttons as well. So let's remove this one. So we will cut this portion, make a copy here. To make a copy here, on this button we will press Ctrl D 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and here we will use our second button is %sign, and the third button is backspace button, and the last one is the divide icon. Okay, and our last button also requires the color property, different color property. So we will pass the text color here, light blue 2. Okay, so we have successfully completed our first row. Now we will replicate or use that same row for our these buttons. So we need 1, 2, 3, and 4 further rows. So for that we will select this code of Borg and press Ctrl D 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here we have second row, we have 7, 8, 9, and multiply sign, which 7, 8, 9, and for multiply sign we use X, and the third row is 4, 5, 6, and minus 4, 5, 6, and minus, and the fourth row is 1, 2, 3, and plus 1, 2, 3, and plus, and the last row is 000, 0, decimal point, and equal to 000, 0, decimal point, and equal sign. So what is happening here, that we are only seeing our last row. This is the last row which we have placed, and we are only seeing that. This is because by default, whenever we are using compose, then every new component which we creating is overlaying the previous one. So that's why we are not seeing our previous components, only seeing the last one which we have defined. So as our these items are arranged vertically one by one, so we need to wrap this section in a column. So here, column, modifier, fill max width, and cut this section from here and paste it in here. Okay, so our buttons section, actually we need to build and refresh because it's showing some warning here. Okay, actually it's perfectly fine. So our button section have been successfully completed. All things have been placed as expected. So now we will move to our second segment, the first segment. Actually, this was the first segment. Now it will become the second segment. So our first segment has been completed, and the second segment will be our text, which where we are showing two values and operation and their result as well. So for that, first we will show this text here at top. We will use text 2 plus 2, and the second text is result, which we are showing 4 here. Okay, and now we need to increase the size of this text. So let's use 36, and same for the line height, 36 XP. If we won't use this at this point, we won't see any issue, but if that text is shown in 2 lines, then that it will cause some issue. And same for the result, but here we will decrease the size to 26 and change the color of this result, and some also add some vertical margin here. So for vertical margin, we will use spacer here, modifier 10 dp, and color of this would be gray. So the next thing which we need is this text would cover the some portion of this screen, let's say around 30%, and our text should be vertically centered and horizontally should be right of the screen. So for that, if we do apply this kind of arrangement here, then these components will also get affected with this arrangement. So we will wrap this in another column, and for the modifier fill max width and weight 1f, and our text component should be centered vertically, so vertical arrangement should be centered and horizontal arrangement should be at the end, alignment should be at the end. And we also need some margin on the right side. So for that, we will use padding here, horizontal 16 dp. So now it's perfect. Just have some issue with our buttons, that our buttons are not occupying the sufficient space of the screen which we want. So what we will do is we will increase the vertical spacing of these buttons to cover up the sufficient space on the screen. So for that, we will go to our text button and increase this vertical spacing to, let's say, 36. Let's make it 40. Okay, so now we have reasonable, let's make it 46. Now we have a reasonable amount for our buttons. It would be very based on the height of the screen, but it is sufficient at this point. So now let's see this screen preview directly on our physical device. For that, we will see a button at the top of this one, which is run preview. So our device is selected, so tap on this run preview. Okay, so our UI have been showing perfectly on the screen, but it's showing that our buttons have too much height. So what we will do is we will decrease the vertical spacing. So let's choose 36 here and run it again. Okay, so now these buttons have sufficient space, which is good for preview, and our result and all of the things are perfect as our expected design which we want. So yeah, this is it. So in this video we made the home screen of our calculator app to summarizing this video, that in this video we will complete the UI of our calculator app home screen and understand the broader view of this screen, that we have two segments and we may choose the buttons segments to create first and then create the second segment, which is for the text, which shows the text. And so yeah, this is it for today's video, and in the next video we will write the further implementation of this screen. So this is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Bye.